The 6th generation Ford Mustang is radically different than the Mustangs that preceded it. When it comes to icons like the Mustang, change is a tricky business. So, has Ford elevated or spoiled their pony car? From a design perspective, we're in the elevated camp. Sporting a fastback profile, the latest Mustang looks modern while respecting its history. Cut the roof off and it still looks good. Clearly, style is important to Mustang buyers, but the improvements made to the latest car continue deep beneath its shiny surface. One noticeable area of improvement is in the interior. Yeah, there's still some plastic bits here, but look, there's nice soft bits. And actually on the upper level cars, this is soft too. The whole thing looks classic, yet also modern, and check it out, toggle switches. It's just like a big Mini Cooper. It's so totally gonna piss off Mustang fans. Ha! From a usability standpoint, the climate and steering wheel controls are perfectly straightforward, as is the available Sync infotainment system, which during our test responded in snappier fashion than in years past, though the interface is starting to look a little bit dated. Treat the Mustang like a 2-seater and you'll be treated to plenty of space. Headroom is great, good legroom obviously if you push this all the way back, but I'm not going to do that. I'm too nice to the person who's going to sit behind me. Me. If I climb back here, provided I'm sitting behind myself, there's just enough room for your legs. There we go, kind of squeezed in. There's a cutout here in the seat and I just barely fit. Headroom on the other hand, a little dicey. There's a nook here where the glass is that you can stick a head. But if you're long and torso like me, this ain't gonna work for long. On a practical note, cargo volume is a reasonable 13.5 cubic feet in the fastback and 11.4 cubic feet in the convertible. The rear seats can also be folded flat to accommodate larger cargo or yet another luggage demo where you crawl through the trunk. Amazingly, we've made it this far without mentioning what could be the most significant update in the Mustang's 50-year history. The brutish live rear axle that hobbled previous Mustangs has finally been banished in favor of an independent rear suspension. One of the first things you'll notice when you take to the open road is that this Mustang rides so much better than older Mustangs. There's just a smoothness to the way the suspension operates, and it lacks that bouncy truck-like feel that is oh so familiar with people who've driven Mustangs. If you like that rugged lack of sophistication of older Mustangs, then this might not be your cup of tea. But if you like a well-calibrated car that handles well and doesn't beat up its occupants, this might be your jam. One of the great things about new cars is that they're really easy to live with, even if you're driving around in a pony car like this. The throttle is easy to apply without spinning the tires. It's a lot easier when you're driving the V6 instead of the V8, but that's how that works. Look, visibility outside is great, and you can even adjust the steering efforts to be light and delicate for my dainty, dainty arms. One of these toggles down here adjusts between comfort, normal, and sport settings. That's heavy, but still manageable. I'm going to put it back to comfort now. Again, weak arms. When it comes to steering feel, Ford's done a nice job. There's just enough vibration through the wheel that, oh yes, I'm driving over a surface, and there was a pothole. That's good. But what's really nice is that when you turn the wheel, resistance increases in a very linear fashion. And also, the car turns about as much as you'd expect it to turn based on how much steering you have. It's nice. The Mustang's dynamic package has never been this well sorted, but that's only half the equation. Core to the Mustang experience is what resides in the engine compartment. For my money, the best way to set up a Mustang is with a V8 and a 6-speed manual transmission. In that form, with the 5-liter V8, there's a lot of power and it sounds great, but it doesn't sound too intrusive. The V8, you hear the rumble sort of subtly in the background, but because of a much quieter cabin, it's not overbearing. It's pretty nice, actually. You can drive the Mustang V8 for long periods of time without having it scream in your ears, oh yeah, you're driving a V8, ha ha ha. Yeah, I get it, it's a V8. Just make noise when I want you to make noise. New in the 6th generation Mustang is a 2.3-liter 4-cylinder engine that's turbocharged and has direct injection, and it's adorable. Look, it sounds like I'm driving a lowered Honda Civic. sounds so goofy, flooring this thing and hearing that angry four-cylinder. Whoa! But there's a lot of power. It's like more than 300 horsepower available and plenty of torque. If you want to move but you don't care what you sound like while you're doing it, the Ecoboost engine is a pretty good option.
Suffering from middle child syndrome is the 3.7-liter V6 that powers the base Mustang. It might not be as gutsy as the V8 or as techy as the Ecoboost, but the V6 still offers a stout 300 horsepower along with respectable fuel economy that splits the difference between the V8 and the four-cylinder. I should also mention that the V6 is the only Mustang engine to make full power without requiring 93-octane fuel. With any of the Mustang's 3 engines, you can choose between a standard 6-speed manual transmission or a $1,200 6-speed automatic with paddle shifters. The automatic is a fine choice for those who prefer to hand off shifting duties, but go with the manual and you'll be treated to an absurdly tight shift pattern that doesn't leave much room for aftermarket improvement.
As is now common, there are multiple driving modes to choose from. You've got normal, which I assume is pretty normal, Sport Plus, sounds sporty, race, no, it's actually called track, but there's a little guy with a helmet, so it's pretty racy, and you have a wet, sort of snow mode, in case you're driving in the snow. Yeah, so that's pretty intuitive. I don't know why I'm telling you about it. You can just look at the screen and it'll tell you.
Adding slightly more detail, selecting each drive mode alters the throttle response, transmission behavior, and stability control settings. It's a quick, convenient way to customize your Mustang driving experience. Ford actually has a few other electronic tricks up the Mustang's sleeves. GT models, for example, equipped with the manual transmission, come with launch control to help maximize acceleration from a standstill, while all Mustang GTs feature electronic line lock, a system that locks the front brakes, enabling no-fuss standing burnouts. Track use only, of course. Wink, wink. Included on all Mustang trims is Track Apps, a handy performance suite that displays acceleration times, G-forces, and other fun stuff. Include destination charges, and a base Mustang V6 checks in at a little more than $24,000. For that price, you get a car with 17-inch aluminum wheels, cloth seats, automatic HID headlamps, keyless access with push-button start, a backup camera, a 6-speaker audio system with 2 USB ports and sync voice activation, and 7 airbags, including a driver's side knee airbag. Stepping up from the V6 to the Ecoboost model adds $1,600 to the tab, while the V8-powered GT has a starting price around $33,000. The Ecoboost and GT models can also be had in premium trims that include niceties like dual-zone climate control and leather-trimmed heated and cooled seats.
One item worth noting, the seat coolers, while lovely to have, only work on the seat bottom, not on the seat back. I know swamp back isn't nearly as popular a syndrome, but a little cooling up here might not hurt.
Among a vast array of features offered to enhance the basic Mustang, some standout items include blind spot warning with cross-traffic alert, adaptive cruise control, forward collision alert, and performance packages available for the GT and Ecoboost Mustang that include special 19-inch wheels, grippier summer tires, a retuned suspension, bigger brakes, a larger radiator, and a spoiler delete. Sportier Recaro front seats are also offered, but honestly, the standard seats are plenty supportive and don't impede arm movements like the Recaros do, all while saving you $1,600. Ignore that advice and load up a Mustang GT premium trim with all the available add-ons, and you can expect to spend upwards of $46,000.
So, has the Ford Mustang lost its raw edge? Actually, yeah, it has. After 50 years, that might be a tough pill to swallow for Mustang devotees, but if you want a Mustang with a marginal plasticky interior and a truck-based rear suspension, you can find them used, cheap. But if you want a really refined version of an American classic, you finally have a choice. Here it is.